Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shanahan, or I keep calling it wrong, Era Military Collectibles. Ranger, hello, yeah. Um, as I said, welcome. Um, I'm just getting notifications on my phone that we have gone live, so everything seems to be working. Yeah, so the usual Friday night chat, Q&A, whatever else it develops into, and I'll be quite happy to answer guys' questions and your thoughts when you start coming in bit by bit. Uh, I'm just going to silence this now. It has been a busy week. Uh, so we're getting there. It's calmed down now and we're at the weekend. So that's good. So we can hopefully have a peaceful weekend. I hope you're all having a peaceful weekend. And I hope everyone is the same. So there's 6 people online. The lads are jumping online fair quick. Neil, evening. How are you doing? So we'll wait till a few lads come in and we'll start chatting. So Stan, how's things? Welcome. Welcome to the fun and festivities. Uh, so what's been happening out the week? Military collectibles, evening. How are you? Uh, it's been quiet for military collecting. I have been not too bad. Had my army medical. All good. Fantastic, Neil. Well done. Um, I hope you go a long way. Brian, evening. How are you? Um, yeah, so it's been quiet in relation to collecting. I did come across a home front gas mask um, in an antique shop, but when I went back to the antique shop, was closed. So I'll try and get in there again during the week and have a look and see can I do a bit of bartering on that. I managed to get my paint has finally come in for my East German helmet. So that will be a how to do project coming up shortly. These guys were changed as well. My 2 mannequins were changed for mannequins on parade, which will be coming up. May have a few 60s pieces you can have. I'll email you pictures. Yeah, no problem, Neil. Thanks very much. You don't have to donate me stuff, guys. If you wish to donate stuff, that is perfectly okay. Um, uh, and if you want me to do a video on them and I will send them back, that is completely up to you. Or if you want to donate them to the museum. Speaking of museums, hopefully we will be going to War Room 3.0 shortly. The builders have told me when they hope to have more work done. So we will be having a 20 foot by 10 foot, whereas we can hopefully display everything. And when that is done, we will be able to do a tour pretty much of the War Room. Might be heading over to a town over the ways from me in a bit to see if one of the bigger supply stores survived the lockdown. A lot of the closed down. Yeah, unfortunately, I was reading here they put back we were supposed to be completely fully open on the 5th of this month, but they've pushed it back to the 19th, and they probably will be pushing it back again. And unfortunately, there's an awful lot of businesses aren't going to be able to survive that. Have to clear out the room anyways before I go. Rather, they don't collect dust on the shelf here. That's we'll talk out things. We'll work things out. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the week has been for me. Along with my proper job, uh, has been a busy week. Um, and it's not over yet because I'm actually on the weekend as well. So we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. So how has everyone been anyway? Has everyone had a good week? Um, England seems to be doing well in the Euros. I was watching it there the other day. I'm sorry, lads, but I was rooting for Denmark, the old foes and all that stuff. But yeah, I was. The only reason that I was rooting for Denmark is because I think the same is going to happen with the football team that happened to the rugby team when they won the World Cup. They'll all get knighted and they'll all be sirs and words and everything. And I don't really follow soccer. Sorry, guys, but I don't really follow soccer. I'm more of a rugby man or a GA man. I don't agree with the price tags that players get and players get played and stuff. It is a sport at the end of the day. Sorry, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just being honest. But yeah, sure. Look, it is what it is. In relation to COVID lockdown and stuff here, it's there was a small bit of the light of the tunnel or the end of the tunnel, but they've pushed it back now to the 19th, and they're possibly going to push it back again for a complete lockdown or complete opening. So we will have to wait and see how that goes in relation to military shows and vintage shows and car boot sales and all that stuff opening up again, where hopefully we can pick up some bits and bobs. I was hoping actually to have the liner for the Brody helmet, the reconstruction of the project, this project, but it hasn't turned up yet. So hopefully during the week that will turn up and we can get that done. There's Patrick. How are you? Howdy, folks. Welcome. So yeah, so the two mannequins that have changed, we have this chap here behind me, and we have, I don't know if you can see him. He's right there. So we have and he's coming up on videos. So you will have to stay tuned to see who they are. I'm not going to really talk much about the history of them. This chap here in particular, that regiment had a checkered history in relation to the troubles in Northern Ireland, and he always, you know, who the NVA is, lads. I have hopefully a brown belt coming in for him during the week. Stan, if he's floating around, pointed me in the right direction on one of his videos that you could get belts for him. So hopefully he'll have a belt. And then he's fully dressed, I believe, at that stage. I was in a tent in Bosnia in transit accommodation when Northern Ireland beat England 1-0 in 2005. That was funny. Well, I mean, yeah, it's always the same. Like you have England and Germany, there's an awful lot of rivalry. Ireland and England, there's always rivalry. Ireland and Italy, there's a lot of rivalry as well, going back to, oh God, what was the name of the player? He was it England or was it Italy or France? France and Italy anyway are both rivals because there was one of them got knocked out of the World Cup by Italy, and then another one handballed a goal into the goal and knocked us out for something else. So yeah, so there's a bit of rivalry there as well. Yeah, we should look. Have you read Soldiering Against Subversion? A history of the Irish Defence Forces in the Troubles. I don't, but people have recommended that book to me. I've literally just finished a book. Wherever it has gone, I have literally just finished a book called Hitler's Irish Slaves, and it was about a merchant marine crew that got captured on a merchant ship, and like that, they were trying to get them to turn them into spies, send them back to Ireland. To create havoc on this side, but every single one of them refused, and they ended up in concentration camps, Dachau, different places, trying to get them to capitulate pretty much and go against the or go against the British on the German side, but they didn't, and it's a horrific book about how they were tortured and things like that. Hitler's Irish Slaves, it's called. It's a good book. So that was the last book I finished. I don't know where it is actually. I finished it the other day and I put it down and I can't remember where I put it. But sure, we'll come across it anyway. Yeah, so that was it. I wanted to ask you a question. Are you happy with the live streams? Because we can change the format. Are you happy with the questions and answers and just having the chat? Because I don't want people to start getting bored neither. And I have noticed as well, my subscribers have gone up to 420 now or something at that stage, at that. And it's fantastic. I mean, I started this during lockdown as a hobby, but it's started to get better, and people are subscribing, people start to enjoy it. Always leave a comment on a video with the emails. um I'll get through them as much as I possibly can. It might take me a few days, but I will get through to them. um some guys who have been in the RUC and different regiments in the British Army that have served in Northern Ireland feel more comfortable contacting me on the email address. So that's why the email address is there. Um, so yeah, so keep it coming, guys. It's fantastic the support we're getting. Perfectly happy. Sorry, where have we gone? Nothing better to be doing on a Friday night, yeah, because nothing's open at the moment. Perfectly happy. It's casual and on deck. That's perfect. Thanks very much, Military Collectibles. Steel helmet stand. Anyone know if the German World War One M16 or M17 reproduction helmets from the likes of Epic Militaria or Soldier of Fortune are correct in their shape and look? I'm not sure about them, but I know when I used to do living history of the First World War, an awful lot of the German guys used to get their helmets from the States, and they used to get them from either What Price Glory or What Price Glory was one, and what was the other one? Was it At the Front? I think was the name of the other one. That's where they used to get their helmets and their gear. They just found the American stuff a bit better. Um, I couldn't give you a 100% answer because I haven't dealt with them. Um, and as I said, there are other manufacturers out there. There are other suppliers out there. This is not a sponsored video, so go wherever you want to go to get your stuff. SOF is very choppy, as is Epic. I'm not sure what you mean by choppy. Dutch, how are you? How are you keeping? You mean cheapy? Sure. Niall. Stan's a bit confused as well. Stan, are you on the wine? I hope you're feeling okay. Actually, I know I was chatting to you on the phone today. Um, so I hope you're feeling fine. I really liked your idea of the tunic, repurposing the Swedish one and the one that you got off of Epic. There's a half price sale or something because the pockets were out of alignment. But yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, if it's gone on a mannequin and if it's your own private museum, who cares? So go check that out, guys, if you want to have a look at stuff like that. Yeah, the Epic SOF helmets are okay, made in China, same as you see on eBay, not combat quality because they are repo and offer no head protection, but as a display repo, they are good. There you go. There's Military Collectibles in with his knowledge. Uh, Dodgy looking, I meant. Okay, so that's what he meant. He means in. I, oh, okay, I know what you mean now. Dutch. I thought you said it was going. It means inconstant. I was going, what? The helmet has to go to the bathroom. The helmet's got irritable bowel syndrome. Inconsistent. He means. Uh, but yeah, when I got my helmet for the First World War, I got it. I had a rimless one, and I think I got mine at What Price Glory, if I remember correctly. I got it in from the States anyway. I got and I had to pay tax on it. I had to pay 20 something percent tax on it, which crippled me. But I got my uniform off of SOF. It was quite fine. It was grand. I just had to do a small little changes to the collar and stuff like that. I brought it to a seamstress. I had it tailored. Um, so there was no issue with the uniform. The putties I got from the States because they were better quality. My webbing I got from SOF as well, and blancoed them, and they were fine. Look, you pay for what you get. So yeah, it was grand. I had a chance to look at the Sleeve Le Mans armored car recently. She's beautiful. Yeah, it is a fantastic piece. It's Rolls Royce. If any of you don't know what Sleeve Le Mans is, Sleeve Le Mans is the armored car, Rolls Royce armored car that was used during the ambush where Michael Collins was killed in Ballinablaw. It was a Free State armored car, um, and the cavalry kept onto it, and it's in the Curra Armored Museum, I believe, now at the moment. It's still there. Um, Sleeve them on, and they bring it out every now and again for displays and stuff like that. It's completely working. It's completely original. If you get a chance to go see it, it's fantastic. Nothing says quality than a Rolls Royce armored car and a 303 Vickers machine gun. Yeah, perfect. It's worth to see if you get the chance to see it. It is worth to see. Okay, cheers, CJ. I might get one. I'm on T. I'm on T. I've sent the repo one back as it was too large for the mannequin. I'm getting a smaller one sent back. Yeah, nearly half the price because pocket are not aligned. Yeah, well that's fantastic. Um, yeah, I've started to get a small bit of interest in the German stuff because of people getting onto me pretty much because if I'm starting World War Two reenacting, I really should know what the other side did and have a bit of their history as well. So I have been looking into bits and pieces for it, but I haven't forced myself yet to actually start collecting it because I have so much going on and I'm just frightened with the German stuff because there are so much grey areas that the uniforms and stuff changed so much throughout the war and things like that. So I really need to put a nail on it and what to do. Like I bought a green radio yesterday, pack 320. Fantastic radio. I hear you'd need a license for that, but yeah, you can have them. Are you planning to with a great fill in with a great war group? I I don't know. I used to be a member of the Irish Great War Society. Great guys, nice guys, no problem with any of them. Um, I started working in a different place and things like that, and I ran out of time. I don't know if I'll get involved with groups again because some groups before, as we said, some groups can be hit and miss in relation to the difference between reenacting and the difference between living do whereas the Great War Society was a mix of both. They used to do reenacting, they were involved in film projects and stuff like that, but they also used to do living history events. And I'm still friends with some of the guys. I'm still in contact with some of them. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. There's a top class group in Cork who do the Royal Munster Fusiliers. Kit is excellent. I probably know most of them because I used to do the Royal Munster Fusiliers. I used to do Second Battalion Royal Munster Fusiliers. Um, there's a gentleman in Gorey as well. He's very good, and there's a chap in Cork. Uh, I'm not going to mention names because I don't mention names online if I don't have had permission. But there is a chap in Cork as well that is fantastic historian in relation to the Royal Munster Fusiliers. And he's well known in circuits, in reenactments and living history groups for his knowledge. So yeah, so there are fantastic uh, uh, fountains of information around Ireland. German stuff is painfully expensive. It is painfully expensive. Um, I suppose if I do start collecting it, I will try and get most of the uniform and the equipment and stuff like that will be reproduction and the odd original item that I can afford, like belt buckles and personal items and things like that. I am wary about wearing original items on reenactments and living history events and stuff like that because you're talking, what do we know, 2020. So you're the guts of 100 years old. That stuff should be in museums now. It shouldn't be dragged out and stuff like that. And you see some guys on line on YouTube and things like that, and they're 100%. Everything has to be 100% original. There are German reenactors there. I'm sure you know who they are. Their videos are up all over the place, and they have to be 100% original. Everything has to be 100%. And no, I have no problem in guys with reproduction stuff. Once you're not trying to pass it off as an original, once you say, look, this is reproduction or whatever, and this is how it looked, blah 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 blah, and don't try and pass it off as an original. Don't try and pull the wool over people's eyes. Certain German items are good to go for binoculars, DX, bayonets, but I don't know enough about the German World War II stuff to buy certain things. Do go repo if you're not sure. Yeah, exactly. And the thing about repos and stuff like that as well is or reproductions. It's easy. It's easy to sell them on again. True. Nowadays, German stuff is expensive. Best idea is to visit a few shows. Chances are the German dealers at the shows will have the same basic items and prices. Yeah, so that's it. That's exactly it. Um, Go to shows, guys. If you're getting into reenacting or if you're going to getting into living history, there's no point in going away and dropping a ton of money. Because even the repo stuff and stuff, it's expensive. But there's no point in going away and dropping a ton of money on stuff and not getting into it. So yeah, just go as civilians, get talked into, go chat with groups. Like I mean, to reenact or to dress as a civilian guy from the 20s, from the First World War to present day, it's easy enough. There's stuff in vintage shops all over the place. I mean, corduroy pants, waistcoat, and collarless shirt, and a flat cap, and away you go. Like, where have I gone? I picked up Tommy's War Book after seeing your and Military Collectibles book. It is great reference. Yeah, it's fantastic. I did actually go rummaging the other day on eBay for the home front one and for the British Tommy of World War Two, and I bid on two of them, but I haven't heard anything back yet, so we'll wait and see. Damn right, Wehrmacht party gear is expensive. Yeah, any German stuff, especially the SS stuff, is fantastically expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. Soviet and a little bit of up banner Irish gear will put a hole in my wallet, but the price of World War II stuff shall surely kill me. Yeah, like I'm happy with my up banner stuff. Like I mean, I have a huge up banner collection, and I still get the odd bits and pieces here and there, but it's mainly small little pocket fillers and interesting items that you don't see. I mean, like to get the representation of a soldier in Northern Ireland, to get an RUC man um, representation, they're easy to get and they're still affordable. If you get me, the hardest part I'd say of my RUC man to get was the body armor. Um, the flak jacket that I've done a video on, the Type 2 flak jacket. Um, you see the other stuff pop up regularly enough and for reasonable enough money. It is starting to get more expensive. The up banner starting to get more expensive. Mark IV helmets now we're going for over £100 sterling ago. The Cromwell helmets are up in £200 and £300 ago. So it is starting to creep up in price. I've got a chance of a German World War II lower end, cheaper medals, and will probably do me for now. Yeah, I mean, if you're coming across deals and stuff like that, go for it. And if you know the price is good, go for it. I'd love to know more about pocket fillers. Searching for a pocket 70. There you go. There's one. If I can get it out, because it's attached to a mannequin. There you go. Can you see it there? And like grabbing. That's a pocket 70 with the antenna. Um, I was lucky in the fact that I came across a chap that was selling him as a complete unit, and that's where I got him. And I got him for £350. I'll tell you the price. I got him for £350. As is, I got a Mark IV helmet, I got a Cromwell helmet, and I got a regular Mark IV helmet. I got a Riot Mark IV helmet, a regular Mark IV helmet, a Cromwell helmet for £350. And I had a Cromwell and I had a Mark IV, so I sold the other two. So I pretty much made back my money. So there we go. Where are we going? If you are going to start something, choose research. Choose research, then do. It takes about a year to get it to the point. It is worth showing and have the knowledge to support it and always learning. Um, Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have my World War Two collection is limited probably no, sorry, my reenactment World War Two collection is probably limited to my haversack contents, my webbing, and my original hats. Um, I haven't purchased a uniform yet. I was doing research on it, and Panther Store Europe seems to be the most accurate, most correct uniform for what I'm going for. I'm going to go for the battle dress surge because there's video reference or photographic references of the Royal Ulster Rifles, which is the unit that I want to portray wearing that the whole way through the war. Um, so that's what I will probably end up getting. And I'm still doing research on them. And then the other side of the Royal Ulster Rifles is one battalion was infantry, regular infantry, and the other battalion was airborne infantry. So I can still swap between the two, and I can get a mixed match and a bit of both. So we'll wait and see. Where are we going? Learning is half the fun of collecting. It is exactly half the fun of collecting. You never stop learning, and the day you stop learning is the day you should really give up the hobby. I mean, I find out stuff off of because I'm not 100% sure on the Eastern stuff or Cold War stuff. Steel Helmet Stan's fantastic for getting information off it when he does do research. I'm only joking, but when he does do research and stuff, and the stuff that he has, that's his speciality. Military Collectibles is fantastic, a world of information for stuff that he does. Rifleman Moore is another fantastic world of information on World War Two reenacting, British up banner, everything and anything. Um, so there are fantastic sources out there to get the information. Where have we gone? Any interest on Rhodesian kit? Have some here to go. I do have interest on Rhodesian kit because I have come across an Irish guy that was in the French Foreign Legion and went to Rhodesia as a he joined the Rhodesian army, but so I hope to try and put a mannequin together for him. I have the pattern 70 weapon. That's about it in my Rhodesian kit. It's actually South African pattern 70, but that was known to make its way across the border into Rhodesia for the Bush Wars. So I have that. And like that, the Rhodesian equipment and uniforms is like hen's teeth to get and very expensive when it comes up. So hopefully we will cross that bridge when we get to it. The best all round book is Military Collectibles by Joe Leidendorst. Sorry, I can't pronounce that name. Published 1984. It covers nearly every military subject with color photographs. I must look up that book actually. My Desert Italiano Royal Army Priva Division took a year, so no one could easily fault it. Eas- no one could easily fault it easily. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, put the time, put the research into it. You do come when you do go to reenactments and you do go to these shows, you do see guys that are literally thrown together. It's like they bought a uniform off a Wish, and it was at that it was a bloody Halloween costume, and they're parading around like Captain Mannering or Jones out of Dead's Army or something like that. Andrew, evening. How are you doing? Um, so yeah, so I mean, like, do the research, and it looks better. And I mean, you're portraying no matter what era you're doing. If you're doing First World War, Second World War, Vietnam, Op Banner, whatever, you're portraying guys that gave their utmost in that time frame. Forget about the politics, forget about all that. But these guys should be done professionally because they were professionals, even though they were probably some of them were probably conscripts and some of them didn't want to go into the army, but they had to do their duty, and they did do their duty, and they need to. You should represent them well, and don't make a mockery of them. I spoke with a World War Two Brazilian veteran yesterday. That's fantastic. He must have been in he's a good age. World War Two veterans are probably up in their 90s now at this stage. I bought a World War Two bandolier, but came a Korean War binocular. Sorry, I bought a World War Two binocular, but can a Korean War binocular. I'm not understand. I don't understand what you mean. But yeah, I mean anything World War Two related is fantastic to collect. I got that book. It's a good one. I must look up that book actually. I don't do any sort of living history, but I agree it is very important that one recognizes the objectives as it is to teach others. Exactly, that's it. I think it was military collectible said it there one time before that we are the curators of history and we are the keepers of history, and we need to pass it on correctly. I believe that's what you said, military collectibles. I'm sorry if I'm quoting you wrong. I don't. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Pottery was portray and respect. Some of them did the bleeding. Yeah, exactly. They did the bleeding. They did the hard work. So you should represent them and you should uh, portray them as best as you possibly can. Bandolier is an extra ammo thing that was put on. Oh yeah, I have them. I have Vietnam ones because I do collect Vietnam stuff as well, Australian Vietnam stuff, and I have a package hopefully coming soon from Australia with some more Australian Vietnam stuff in it. I have a chap over there who rings me or texts me, a buddy of mine actually. We actually I bought stuff off him before and we turned out to be mates, and text each other and talk to each other quite regularly. And when he goes to shows and stuff like that, he'll send me a picture going, "Send me your PayPal quick because I found this for you." So yeah, so hopefully I'll have stuff. He's after the last show he was at. He found me a chemical poncho that they used to wear as rain gear, which is it's got a weird camouflage on it. It's just black and green, but it's cool, and that should be here soon, hopefully. Yeah, so that we've caught up with the questions anyway. So we're all good in relation to questions. Yeah, so that's about it. Um, so yeah, you need to the bandolier that I have is Vietnam. It's one is 67 and the other 74. So we're getting there. True, we buy the stuff with our own money, but we don't actually own it. We're preserving it for the future generations. So every collection, no matter what it is or how big it is very important. Like that's exactly it. I mean, uh, I personally, if I know guys that are looking for stuff or whatever, chances are I'll swap them on or I'll sell them on stuff. Or if I very rarely sell stuff, I normally swap it around and trade with it. Because I don't believe in forget. I don't want to sound bad here, but I'm in the hobby of collecting, military historian, amateur military historian. And if I have something that is of no use to me, but it is of use to somebody else, but he's got something that I want that is of use to me, but the item I have is of use to him, I don't see why you shouldn't trade it. And that's just personally me. But some guys, you do come to dealers and stuff at shows, and they're they are reenactors or living history guys or whatever you want to call them, and they nearly sell you stuff off their display. They're, you know, that type of thing does go on. Where have we gone? I once had to cut down an oak tree bandolier for the Irish Civil War. It was turned into a belt and dyed black. Oh yeah, so I actually have an original. It's actually in a box up there, but I actually have an original RIC, not RUC, RIC, Royal Irish Constabulary bandolier that was used here, and only have it for displays. I don't wear it or anything like that because it's fantastic bit of history. Where have we gone? Liam, same here. I enjoy going to shows every now and then and seeing the people representing various combatants, but for me personally, I just have a little museum, war room, man cave. Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's for everyone. Some guys don't like doing reenacting. Some guys collect and go to schools and stuff like that. Each their own. It's up to everyone. It was the 50 round variant. Oh, okay. So that was the double sided one, if I remember. Um, I hate my I hate my bandoliers. Cost me a fortune. A few years ago I had the mad idea of filling an ammo box with bandoliers, and all were filled with 303. Yeah, they get heavy. They do get heavy. Um, No one likes carrying the ammunition for the GPMG or the brain gun or something like that, because that stuff weighs a ton, and the stuff you're carrying is heavy enough. Andrew, I have to agree. I'm not in this for money, but I where have I gone? But I have to be realistic. It costs. It does cost. It is an expensive hobby, and it can be an expensive hobby, if you let it get the better of you. Um, so yeah, so I mean, you can. I really do like these guys that collect medals and do the research on the medals and find out the history of the medals and either sell them or keep them, sell them on with the history stuff, so that those people don't die. If you get me, they're not forgotten, um, which is probably the best word that I can use. And yeah, so that's a good idea. I store field dressings in my bandoliers. That's a good idea. I know a guy that used to when we used to go to Vietnam shows, when we used to be portraying Vietnam guys, he would carry Rice Krispie squares in his bandolier, and he'd be eating them throughout the day. He'd just take one out and be eating it away. So yeah, so he didn't have to carry the weight, but he used to. They were big enough that they could fit into the bandolier pockets. Uh, there are other snacks out there for people. I've been told to eat. Catch you all later. Good, Dave. Have a good one. Enjoy your dinner, supper. What time are we? Supper probably now at this stage, 20 to 9. Um, but yeah, so yeah, so he used to eat. He's right. He used to eat his bandolier as the day went on. Other funny tricks as well. There was a guy. I think he's dead now since, or he's passed away since. But like that, some guys reenacting guys would be getting away from their wife and kids and stuff for the weekend, and towards the end of the show, you'd see him eating oranges. I mean, bags of oranges. You know these little nets that you can get with the oranges in it. And one day, I can remember chatting to one of the lads one day, and I was like, "Going, has he got a vitamin C deficiency or something, or whatever?" But he used to inject vodka into the oranges, and he'd be going around for the rest of the evening eating them. Maybe come 9 o'clock, he'd be off his trolley. Um, yeah, just funny things like that I've seen. I bought an original 1903 leather belt for my home guard auxiliary unit impression, but it's 6 inches too short. Uh, I'm on the lookout for a new one, 46-inch waist. I'll have a look for you. See the issue here in Ireland is there's some things that are very very plentiful here. World War Two stuff is not the best of plentiful. Up banner stuff, British 80s stuff, British 90s stuff is all over the place. American World War Two stuff for some reason is all over the place. I actually have nearly a complete impression for a second Ranger guy that attacked Point Two Hawk. Um, I got it in a trade off a guy. I got the pants, the gaiters, full set of webbing, helmet, jacket. The only thing I'm missing is the shirt actually, and I'll have a full I'll have a full impression. Uh, so yes, I mean I could do that at events as well, and then I'm going down another rabbit hole of starting to collect American World War Two stuff, and I do have American World War Two stuff as well. That you get a bit here, you get a bit there, you get another bit here, and it's starting to pile up as well. I have one, two, three, four, five M1 helmets now. At this stage, I have one Marine Pacific one. I have one standard American one that was no markings on it. I have one for the second Rangers. I have a Vietnam one, and I have a Dutch one that came over summer. The Dutch one will probably be traded to somebody if they want to use it for something else. Where have we gone? Think of it this way: over this weekend, some people will spend hundreds of pounds following the World Cup, and by Monday morning we'll have nothing to show for it. Exactly. I know guys that um, would spend a couple of €1,000 on a season ticket for a sports team, and if they went 5 times in the year to a match, they went a lot, which is in my eyes is crazy. Like, I did see a few lads sewing SA80 bandoliers into the rear of their smocks. handy size snack pockets. Yeah, exactly. And then it was common. It still is common for the British guys to use bandoliers as wash rolls. Um, they fit their toothbrush and their shaving soap and stuff like that in, and they wrap them up and use them as wash rolls. That is a common thing. Where have we gone? It's their hobby, fine, but you've invested money in your military collection, and in years to come, it will prove to be a good investment. I'm often asked how much I have spent, and I reply too much, too many times. Yeah, I don't put a price on mine because I believe you can't put a price in history. Um, yeah, I mean, over the length of my time in collecting, I'd be frightened to know how much I collected or how much I have spent. But I don't collect anything, or I don't price anything, and like that, I might do 2 or 3 trades a week or 2 or 3 trades a month, and I might only spend once in the month on stuff, whereas other stuff I swap around or I move around, which is a common thing. Military collectibles, haha, yeah, true. I've gone mad recently and spent a bit on 4 new helmets for my collection. Usual standing stuff. Um, I don't look. I have no issue with guys spending cash on their collection, and I have no problem with guys who get their collection, however they get their collection, or whatever they get their collection on, because military collectibles never depreciates. It is going up in value, and it always has gone up in value. Um, so if the only recommendation, if there's new guys here that are starting to get into collecting and stuff like that, the recommendation that I can give tonight's word of wisdom off of John is start collecting Afghanistan and Gulf War stuff now, because it is still surplus, it is still plentiful, it is not that rare, and it is cheap enough. And I guarantee you, in 5 to 10 years' time, when there's some other war somewhere else, that stuff will be collectible. I guarantee you it. Where have we gone? Do you have a lot of similar local regimental museums in Ireland? Here in Canada, there are all over the place. Free administration and kept alive by donations and Veterans Association. Most barracks in Ireland, most military installations have their own unit museums. We don't have regiments, we have units, we have battalions. Um, so they have their own museums. Every barracks in the country nearly has one, and they're free for people to enter. You just have to make an appointment. There's normally a curator, which is normally a soldier, um, appointed to manage the museum and look after the museum. They always take donations and stuff like that, and they're free to enter. Also, they used to do school tours and stuff like that, but with COVID and stuff now, I don't know. Everything costs a fiver. That's what I tell my wife. Exactly, yeah, everything's a fiver, or I borrow that, or I swap that off the guy. Do you know if the Pattern 58 rucksack was left in the FV FV432, like the Soviets left their whatever sack, BMPs, BTRs, or were they carried all of the time? Vast majority of infantry guys would carry them, and a vast majority of infantry guys would throw them over the ditch, and they would private purchase backpacks. I have a GP, a general purpose backpack, which was on trials prior to the Falklands, and it was issued to the Royal Marines and Paras and the SAS as trials prior to the Falklands, and then later after the Falklands, it was issued en masse, with slight changes in it. The one I have is actually a trials version. Um, so yeah, so the 58 packs, even in the Irish Army, the 58 packs were hated with a passion. Um, Lads would swap them out with civilian type backpacks. An awful lot of guys used to buy, if they could get them in surplus, was the Alice packs from the States. Here in Ireland, I know they used to do that. Yeah, they don't like them. They're crap. They're a crap pack. They fit nothing. They'll fit a pack of 2 mess tins and a pack of socks and a bottle of water. They're brutal. Um, Where else have we gone? I've recently started collecting vintage ex-military hand tools. I love the craftsmanship and the fact that I can realistically use them often. Yeah, everything military related has a collector's market. Radios, signals tools, signal equipment. Some guys will collect specific regiments like cavalry, infantry, artillery, whatever. There's lots and lots of stuff to get. True, today's military surplus is tomorrow's collector's items. Yeah, that's it exactly. Um, if you're starting off in the collecting, guys, Afghanistan, Iraq, that's where to start collecting. I found out recently. I found out recently that there is a firm making DDR NVIDIA reproduction visor caps, same as the one on your mannequin. Large sizes are rare, and that's what they are making. Repo East German stuff. Did not know that. No, I did not know that Repo East German stuff was hitting the market. I know that the Chinese people or that direction are mass producing fake M1 helmets by the boatload. They're throwing them out, and anything pretty much military. I guarantee you will find on Wish or not Amazon, Wish or AliExpress or one of those cheap sites, and I guarantee you there's unfortunately there's people buying it too. Oh, oh gosh, no, folks have to look out for fake Cold War items. I know exactly. I don't really have much Cold War items. I have him. I probably finish off him, and I want to collect the border guards uniform, and there's a chap that has emailed me. I'm not going to say his name again, obviously, but he emailed me that he's going to. He has a NVA combat uniform, so I'm going to have that, and then have my Bundeswehr um, soldier that can contrast against him, and that will be my East German side of it, so I can have both sides, both representations. So I will be doing a border guard as well, just because they were a famous group in relation to the Cold War history, and after that, then it'll probably be cabinet fillers, pocket fillers, and stuff like that. I normally collect Bear up banner, Bear Vietnam. But anything else that I collect, I sort of like to have a contrast with it. So I mean, when I'm collecting the World War Two stuff, I probably will have a German guy because I have an American guy now that is a representation. When I have the British stuff done, then I would probably move on to German stuff so I can have comparison. If you get me. Where have we gone? We only used the 58 large pack in training. It was heavily hated to buy your hint. It was heavily hinted to buy your own. Buy your own one. The Bergen's Rocks was the one I got. Okay, I know there was a multitude of different backpacks that guys were used. I actually am doing a video on my Jeep GS, sorry, GS, not GP, GS backpack, General Service backpack. Got a steel frame on it and all that. They're good backpacks. Where have we gone? That is my last piece I need of 58 pattern. That comes next. What comes next? 59. No, 58. PLCE comes next after 58 pattern. The green PLCE was used for a short period of time by the British Army. Then they went to camouflage PLCE. Then they went to Op Banner. In relation to Op Banner, they had specific theatre issue chest rigs and battle vests that the senior corporals, platoon sergeants, stuff used to wear. Um, they were theatre specific, but an awful lot of guys held on to them. They got ripped or they got lost and stuff, and they brought them back to the UK and they would use them on exercises and things like that. Yeah, so that's it. So you're talking PLC. There was a sorry, did somebody just mention it there? Yeah, there was a trial 72 pattern, but it didn't take off very well. It was, I think, Rifleman Moore actually has a video on the trials pattern 72. Um, yeah, so there you go. Soviet market is polluted with tourist items, one has to be somewhat vigilant with hats and patches. Also, thanks to Andrew, where are we going? I also have an I have an Irish PLC webbing as well. Actually, up there, there will be a mannequin on parade of the Irish Army in the border in the 80s and 90s. That's coming up. I know an awful lot of the East German caps were pilfered and turned back into um, German, repurposed and sold off as German World War Two stuff. Because Stan actually sent me a video today, and it was quite interesting of how the Germans ended up with their uniform. The East Germans ended up with their uniform, and it was quite interesting. So yeah. Oh yeah, I got the rocket pack. The rocket pack now has two, not one, two sides, and it's got a different yoke than the actual PLC webbing, and there's two utility straps actually to keep it together. So when you're running, it doesn't flap like wings. So yeah, but they did have rockets. They went onto the side of the Bergens, what were known as rockets. They went onto the side of the Bergens. Repo NVA, that G, genus is yeah, I know. I mean, there's so many forgeries of stuff going around now. It's ridiculous, and it's hard to keep track of stuff. Um, where have we gone? Is where have we gone? Something at the back of my mind, I'm sure, was Repo NVA DDR medals. The holy grail for me would be a pair of NVA binoculars. Seeing them on eBay, £600, £600 plus. They were expensive, covered in green rubber. I would love to have a set of the actual post binoculars. They're about that long, and they used to be on a tripod, and you can see them on sangers being used in the north. And you actually see the Germans had their own version on the tops of their towers when the Berlin Wall was there. That would probably be a crowning piece in a collection. But like that, they're extremely expensive. I remember when I thought the world would never run out of East German water bottles and socks. Yeah, you see the thing with surplus and stuff like that is people buy them, workmen buy them, farmers buy them, and they wreck them. Um, and then it dries up. It dries up the stocks. Like David, hi David, 100%. I've seen the website of the Repo Visor caps, and I thought it would be so easy to age them and sell them on. Oh, you're talking about the NVA caps? You're talking about the German caps? Military Collectibles there. Keep an eye on his channel because he finds fantastic forgeries and he does videos on them. Um, the German medals and NVA caps being repurposed and things like that. He has an eye for finding the forgeries. So if any of you want to brush up on your knowledge, go give Military Collectibles a look and watch his stuff and watch for the forgeries. The MVI binos are green metal and black rubber protective covers. David would be probably the man to know there because his fountain of East German stuff is fantastic, along with Podrick and Russian equipment. I have a pair. They also turn up as JNV marked. Karl Zush. Well, I need to I need to stop trying to pronounce words that I can't pronounce. But yeah. So that's the stuff. Actually, I did actually get off of that chap that I was talking about earlier on. That I'm not going to mention his name. Who's not far from here, but he sent me a net for my East German helmet that the paint arrived for today. That hopefully will be getting done over the weekend and a video done on it. And we will be getting that done, getting that published, and fingers crossed that will be done. I'm not 100% sure on the paint though. The paint looks greeny. I thought it was more of a grey, but the paint that I got, it's specific DDR paint. That's what I ordered, but it looks green. It's a green. It is a green. You'll see it in the video, and I can always, if the paint is wrong, I can always change it out. I wasn't 100% sure on it. Where have we gone? I do see NVA caps being turned into World War II German types and sold at premium. It used to be East German, but now, it used to be West German, but now it's East German. Yeah, they're always trying to. Unfortunately, there's all forgeries going around the place. I was watching a video on. He's an American dealer, and he seems to be a bit of a con artist, but he was photoshopping labels for Choco Cola, for toilet roll, Wehrmacht toilet roll, and simple knickknacks and stuff like that. Cigarettes, razor blades, field dressings, labels for cans, things like that. And he was weathering them and selling them off. He got found out there. There's a video on YouTube about him. I'm not going to mention things again, but if you want to look him up, look up forgeries, German forgeries. I'm sure he'll pop up on it. David, that's the one. I believe they have an infrared lens spec. Don't know. I wouldn't be much into German binoculars. Nice one. Do they function properly? One day I might get some. Yeah, I mean, just put a bit, like I do when I want to try and get a big item. Just put a bit of money away each week or each for a month or two, and hopefully you'll get enough to get them. That's a shame about forgeries. Yeah, it is. And unfortunately, he was a dealer, and he was going to all these big shows, and some of the other dealers caught him out on it. He was photoshopping and photo printing some stuff and selling it off as original. World War Bricks, hello, how are you? Welcome to the fun and festivities. Steel helmet stand, they have a device to shine a lamp through one of the lenses. That sounds interesting. I saw that video, genuine toilet paper on the road. Yeah, exactly. So that must have been the same lad. Yeah, he had a lot of stuff. I mean, and he was caught out by, like, he had rare stuff, and guys knew it was rare, and he had so much of it that you were looking, going, how the hell did you get all this stuff? So yeah, he had like rare SS stuff, rare daggers, rare helmets, side caps, toilet roll. I mean, things that you'd be going, where the hell did you get all that? Like, and stuff that if it was original would be worth a small fortune. Where have we gone? I read about people buying surplus helmets, letting them collect rust for a few weeks and then selling them on. Yeah, there's lots of things that go on. Battle Dog, yeah, or they'll whack him with a hammer and dent the crap out of him. Christmas decorations too, yeah. He was selling Christmas decorations, and there seems to be a big thing now in America. Actually, is oh God, what was Hitler's girlfriend's name? I was going to say Joan of Arc. It wasn't Joan of Arc. It wasn't Anne Berlin either. Mother of God, my mind is gone. I'm getting tired. Um, her silverware, like knives, forks, and spoons and stuff, seems to be coming out of the woodwork. Um, Eva Braun. There we go. Thanks, Military Collectibles. Yeah, Jesus, where did my mind go? Yeah, her silverware apparently in the States is coming out of the absolute woodwork. No one knows where it's coming from. Um, like the Waffen SS cotton rolls offered in the 80s, when cut in half. When cut in half, it had the words "Made in China" on the reel. Oh God. Eva Braun, that was it. Eva Braun. Thanks, lads. Thank you. I had a bit of a brain fart there for a minute. 1958 large packs. 19 sorry, 58 large pack Singler suitcase by same or Larry large packs to others. Yeah, you're going back on about the 58 pattern packs. Yeah, they were crap. Andrew, how are you? Welcome. Oops, I meant Eva. Yeah, no problem. I knew who you were talking about. I wonder how much percentage wise of the Waffen SS and other SS stuff is fake. That now I would love to know because I don't know. I wouldn't even just narrow it down to the that specific group across the board. A lot of their stuff is counterfeit and has been sold as original. Um, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, I was watching at an auction there not so long ago. A guard's jacket from one of the camps, hat, jacket, and pants, all documented. Was a war bringback from an American guy who had been there. He was actually a military police guy. Brought it back, and was it a quarter of a million it sold for? Um, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you, and I just don't think personally myself. I don't see whatever about collecting SS stuff. Definitely not that section of the history would I even contemplate going down because no, thank you. I got MG2 1902 pattern trousers, Irish Guards, cap badge, and entrenching tool bits from my 2nd Battalion Irish Guards 1917 impression. Fantastic. Um, so you've settled on the Irish Guards. That's fantastic. Uh, the Guards. Look up my boy Jack about Richard Kipling's son that was a lieutenant in, I think it was the 2nd Battalion Irish Guards, was killed in Mons. Um, very good film. And the uniforms and stuff like that are accurate to a degree in it. Um, take his Harry Potter looks out of it with a pinch of salt, but everything else is good enough. It's like a big training area. Oh yeah, Schlucken, whatever. Yeah, the big training area in Germany. I know the place you're on about. Buy the item, not the story. Anyone can slap on whatever story they like on an item exactly. Um, but some things, all right. It is nice to have the history about it. Like if you had a guy's medals, it's nice to have the history of the medals. Maybe a guy's uniform, it is nice to have the history of the uniform. So I do see why it sold for that price, and it was ridiculously priced. But I just obviously there was a big collector. Hopefully, it went to a museum or something like that. Um, I just I would definitely wouldn't spend that money because I don't have that money. But I would if I did have that money, I definitely wouldn't spend it on that. I would spend it on something else. I'd get my snatch Land Rover and my Saracen armored car. That's what I'd buy. And a Huey. I'd probably be able to afford all three of them for that price anyway. I'd rather spend where are we going? I'd rather spend my money on a T64 rather than on a single uniform. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I have family who was Irish Guards and killed in 1916. That's fantastic. And representing something like that will keep the history up, which is fantastic. 80% of the Waffen XX items encountered today are repo. If you are looking in that direction, pick a dealer who will give a lifetime guarantee if it's lifetime guarantee of its authenticity, but it will cost you exactly. Now there are some massive dealers in the UK, not so much here, and there's some massive dealers in the States that you could deal with. First one that comes to my mind is Regimentals. He, him, and his father have been at it for. I believe his father had passed away, but he have been at it for neon 60 years now. I'd say at this stage, are a world of information and are very very reputable. The man has books and all published in relation to tell you originals from forgeries and stuff like that. So if you are going to spend that type of money, go to a dealer like that. No, I'm not saying go specifically to him for YouTube purposes. There are dealers with that type of background that you can go to. Sellers seem to think all they have. Sellers seem to think they have total to do is put airborne or commando in the description, and and charge 20% or extra. Exactly. For up banner stuff, para, UDR, special branch, um, things like that, and they'll try and like standard M4 Mark 4 riot helmet, um, used by UDR, whatever, €350. There you go. So yeah, so that's the exact same with the World War II stuff. Commando, SS, Para, uh, SAS, SBS, SOE. They'll charge you, try and charge a small fortune. Have to go now. I am on a little holiday in Wexford. Oh, fantastic! Have a good one, buddy. Have a good night. I'll probably give it another half an hour and then I'll be logging off myself. I thought it would be up. Oh, where are we going? I thought it would be up there in the percentage. That's probably why I wouldn't buy. We know what that means. SS stuff because I can't afford it. Yeah, I would. Or elite. Yeah, that's another one. Elite special forces parade. Like I have. Where is it gone? Let's see if I have it here somewhere. Do, 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 do. I seen this, right, advertised on a website, and I went, "You are taking the absolute Mickey," right? This was, if anyone sees that, that's the medical corps, right, attached to the paratroopers, right? You're not actually a paratrooper. Just because you wear the red beret doesn't mean you're a paratrooper. It means you're attached to the 16th Air Assault Division or Air Brigade, right? Um, and I seen it, and I was going, yeah, that's interesting enough. You don't see them that often. Sometimes in with a different cap badge on it. So I picked that up for a fiver, right? No hassle, no issue. So I seen one of these. If I can find them, I should be able to find them because they're a specific color. Start taking out stuff. Be easier. Put it back in a while. I really need to find a better way of keeping all these. Where are they? They should be here somewhere. There we go. Right. This is what I'm looking for. Right. Everyone knows who that is? That is the Royal Marine Commandos. Right? Commando. Okay. Look up that beret tonight on YouTube or YouTube on your sites, shall we say, that you want to buy that. Okay. Just because it has commando and it has that on it, right? You're talking 50, 60 pounds, not even euros, pounds. Oh, who's been timing out the president, lads? What did he do? Um, yeah, so I mean, just because it has that on it, the price goes massive. Where are my other parameters? Oh, that's interesting. I'm missing my parameters. I'm sure they're here somewhere, and I'm sure they'll turn up because they have to be here somewhere. Just double check here now in case I'm going blind. No. 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 I wonder where they're gone now. They must be around somewhere. They have to be around somewhere. We'll find them. Don't worry. I'm sure they're in one of these somewhere. I have about 3 or 4 drawers full of different berets that I need to organise and sort out. So we'll get to that anyway. So where have we gone? The president has been timed out. Whatever he did, fair play to you lads. Who did that? Podrick. Well done. The DDR used the historic-looking German uniforms. Was them claiming back the uniform for the socialist German state, and the Bundeswehr went in American saluting what? Saluting without headgear and all. Didn't know that. No. Yeah, that's an army thing, lads. Definitely in the Irish Army, definitely in the British Army. Do not salute without a headdress on, or you will get a slap in the back of the head off of some NCO. Just felt that was a getaway and some nasty politics. Oh, okay, whatever. If you like that, that's fine. Just give them an old wallop. That was their propaganda. What was their propaganda? I don't understand. Did I miss something? Oh, anything remotely associated with D-Day. Prices will skyrocket. Did I miss something? What did I miss? Okay, never mind. David, yeah, I sent John a link for the Mark. Yeah, he sent me a video. Myself and Stan were chatting, and it is a good video. No, that is actually bugging me where those berets are because um, one of them is an original, but they've got to be here somewhere. We'll turn them up. I guarantee, the first one I find when I get off this live will be will be um will be my bloody berets. Sorry guys, it's just I know I might rooting. I'm after knocking the plug out of my laptop. Plug that back in. Otherwise we'll have a black moment like we did last week. Oh, there we go. We're back. So it is. We've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, so we'll give it an hour and a half, and then we will log out and we will chill out. We'll see you all next week. I will prepare my videos and information that I have going up. I had planned on putting up 2 videos last week, but one of them corrupted for some reason, and it took me a long time. I couldn't get it working, so we will get that going. There's a little interesting item that I have that is like when I say about pocket fillers. I don't know if I've showed that before. They're cassette tapes from the Royal Ulster Constabulary for interviews. They're still in the packet, so that's a little interesting thing. When I talk about collecting small bits of collections for stuff like that. So where have we gone? The NBA did use the Gymnastica or Soviet M43 like the rest of the Warsaw Pact. Glad they all member states had unique uniforms from the 60s onwards. Yeah, that I think I said in that video that the Germans themselves didn't want to look like a puppet, a Soviet puppet state. So that's why they sort of kept their own uniforms, and the public seemed to like the idea as well. So that's why they kept their uniforms the same as they did during the Second World War. And there is actually you couldn't really tell. Like I know on that video they said that the officers had the glad all members had. Oh, okay. The they kept certain traditions that the Bundeswehr had gotten rid of. They kept them to be more German, I suppose. I know a Dutch guy who buys replicas rust from Poland. Relics rust from Poland and reburies in his land in Holland, then allows people to dig it up stuff for a charge on his land, a historic battlefield. Oh my god. Please tell me people aren't falling for that. Whew. Right, where have we gone? There is a nice pair of Frank oh 08 German binoculars on eBay at the minute, £19. No bids, 2 days left. Good price that I might get. My wife wouldn't kick me out. Uh, my wife kick. What you could do, Stan, to make up for it, is you could cut the grass, paint a wall, do something like that, and charge her an hourly rate. Try that one. My own sweet organs of state terror are. They're going, yeah, it's just I've spent so much recently. Don't tell her. Jesus, amateurs. But no, obviously you're going to have to tell your better half that some stuff has been investing. That's it. You're investing in her retirement. You're investing in her future and the history. Take a leaf out of Military Collectibles book. We are the historians for the next generations and the collectors for the next generations that will be passing on our wisdom onto them. I don't think that'll fly, but try it anyway and see what happens. And if I see you with a video on the weekend with a black eye, we'll know what happened. But yeah, so there we go. So lads, we've been on for an hour and 17 minutes, so we'll give it till half past. We'll give it an hour and 30 minutes and then we'll log off. Not the first time I've kept on the couch because of a crazy purchase. Thankfully, I haven't. That's never happened to me. Thankfully, I've never had to do that. Um, no, no. My ma'am, Lord to mercy, all right. When she was alive, I bought something and she hit the roof. I can't remember what I bought. I can't remember what I bought, but she lost it anyway. Whatever it was, she went absolutely balubas. What was it I bought? And it wasn't that bad. Um, It was something to do with First World War anyway. A trench periscope. That's what it was. It was a trench periscope. I bought a trench periscope. And it wasn't even an expensive one. Wasn't even a timber one. It was an original one that you could fit on the top of a bayonet, stick it over a friggin' trench or look around the corner or something. And I spent 50 odd pounds punts on it at the time. And I got mangled because she found out the price of it. I was probably only earning at the time maybe £120 a week. So I was nearly half my wages gone on a mirror and she lost it. But yeah, mothers being mothers. So I've already got 3 pairs. Oh, you've got 3 pairs of binoculars already. Sure, one more pair. If you've got 7, one for every day of the week, you could change them around. Um, just so that the optics didn't burn out in them. I don't know. Would that even fly as an excuse? That I'm afraid the optics will burn out in my binoculars. I don't know. Don't think so. The DDR of the Soviet gem style uniform was the KVP thing. Then they were barricaded police force. In name only, there was a wear out period with the uniforms when they volunteered for the NBA in 1956. Okay, didn't know that now. Learning something new every day. My wife help, helping me carry my Mark II brain in the transit case up to the loft. Up to the loft. Um, well, I mean, she's getting it moved from obviously some place she didn't like it and it has now been moved somewhere where it is nice to go. Very jealous seeing some American YouTubers with piles of M1 helmets that would go for small fortunes in other countries. Yeah, the Americans are lucky that they have a stock. Well, I won't say a stockpile of stuff, but it's easier for them to get stuff. I was watching a YouTuber there the other day finding an original front seam helmet in good enough condition. Well, good enough that you could use for reenacting, even if you wanted, for $45 in a swap shop or a pawn store, whatever you want to call them. I said pawn. Forgive my accent. Uh, I've got around 20 pairs of binos. Just, she just shakes her head. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you just have to give up and realize that we're not going to change. We're just going to do what we're going to do. Tree of a thing does give defense in depth. As per Soviet all arms man. Exactly. You need uh, an initial line of attack, a defense, and then a fallback. So have three of everything. And there is an army saying one is none, two is one, and three is even better. So I mean, if you have one, it would break or could break, possibly will break. If you have two, you have something to replace the broken one, and a spare is always to have a third. So one is none, two is one, and three is even better. Always remember that one, guys. Try it and see how it gets on. I'll, I'll be watching lads' videos now over the weekend, and they'll all have black eyes and busted lips and divorce papers being sent to them. David, problem is, David, I've got around 30 pairs of binos and more to come, I hope. Um, yeah, so I mean, you've gone to one a month now. So if you could get one a quarter, and it would be even better, just specifically so you don't burn out the optics in them. They're very fragile like that, the optics in those binoculars, that you could possibly burn them out. So I would recommend to get as many pairs as you possibly can, and have them just dotted around the house for reading the newspapers, TVs, things like that. Because your eyesight is critical. You do need these things. Andrew, what's your favorite pair? Lads, keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. I prefer pair of binoculars. Okay, fair enough. We're still talking about the binoculars. Stan actually sent me a pair of World War Two binoculars, which are fantastic. Um, I love them. Hitler's mustache. You got any? Huh? You got any of my old uniforms? I do actually. I have a few of them. They're all over the place. The ones with your blood on them, if you want, really want. A good strategic reserve. A good strategic reserve. If I told you about me and bread bags, you wouldn't talk to me. Have you a handbag problem, David? Would you like to talk to somebody? Bueno man, he seems all no hiding from Stan. Before beware what you're going. Beware where you're going. Stan may be watching. That's it exactly. I mean, he has them for bird watching, train spotting, military collecting. His eyesight is bad too, so he does need them for reading and things like that. So yeah, so collect as many binoculars as you want, Stan, because you'll always forget your pair. You lose a pair, you leave a pair in the car, have a pair in the car. You might need them in the car, on your bicycle as well. Yeah, just have them scattered all over the house. Definitely, I think we are sorting Stan's problem, lads, for him now, in relation to collecting binoculars. Anyway, um, when it starts collecting helmets, we're going to find it harder to come up with an excuse why he's got so many helmets. But binoculars, yeah, the man has bad eyesight. He needs them for reading, watching TV, driving, cycling his bike, bird watching. So he needs them strategically placed around the place. So, uh, so that's Paul. That's Padraig's suggestion, anyways. Stan might be always watching. But, hats, berets actually was my poison. I love collecting berets. I have lots and lots of different ones, and I normally don't wear them because I just don't believe that you should wear them if you weren't in the regiment or if you didn't earn them. So I'll just throw that one on quickly. I have it the right way around. I do, don't I? And just a little tip, guys, as well. If you are collecting berets, if they're shaped, chances are they've been issued. And look for the sweatbands. Look for wear marks around the sweatbands. Look for little cracks especially the leather ones, that they've been worn, used, and abused and loved. So, have we all gone? Have we all been talking waffle that everyone has left? Well, we still have 14 people online anyway, this thing says. Where have we gone? I have a pair of the Bakelite ones. Took ages to find a set. Oh, Bakelite binoculars. I don't. I actually have a Bakelite. The only Bakelite thing I have is in my hold all, which is actually here on the back of my chair, or my haversack on the back of my chair is a Bakelite matchbox holder. Is the only Bakelite thing I have. I was actually looking because when War Room 3.0 is done, I was thinking of doing what Stan is doing and having a field phone hooked up to the house that if anybody wants me, I'll be outside. Ring the phone. Andrew Johnson, nice one. Mine is a pair of 1930s Sleaze Z's. Spoiler. And thanks for the support, lads. Stan, we're all friends here. We're all here to help. We're here to help you through your problems and your issues. So always look for us for support, and we will gladly give you support. Actually, I have your stuff here. It's enveloped. I don't have it addressed. The caps are in there. We will be getting them out to you during the week. I just literally haven't had time to had a shower today yet. I haven't had a shower yet today. That's how much I have been panicking and worried and trying to get stuff done, and needed to come and chat to you as well. So I hope you feel grateful, lads, for that, and I hope you realize the effort that I put into not having a shower so I could talk to you this evening. I'm only joking. I'm only having a crack. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing the live streams on a Friday, and it is a bit of fun. It is a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh, and we're here, as Stan says, we're here to support each other through this addiction of collecting. So I hope you're all happy with tonight's effort in the support and talking about our collecting. So there we go. So guys, we've been on for an hour and a half. We'll love you and leave you, and we will hope to see you all again next Friday. So have a safe weekend, have a good time, and keep up the collecting. If you know guys that are into military collecting, if you're part of a reenactment group or living history group or anything at all, try and get them to subscribe. Pass the word to your friends. If you want to give me an email, the email will always be on top of the video description. So have a good one, guys, and I hope to see you all again next week, same time, Friday 8 o'clock, for another live stream and another chat. Hang on a second, we just got a few questions. I have a pair of J Field phones. Oh, okay, cool. That's I was looking into that the other day. I don't know why, but I like the idea of getting field phones. When I see bread bags, I mean DDR products, produced ones, military and civilian ones, like you have got in camping stuff. Oh, okay, very cool. Cheers, farewell, Padraig. See you all next time. Andrew, Padraig, farewell. Oops, I did it again. Have a good one. Good night. Dutch, bye bye. Military Collectibles. See you next week. Have a good one, lads. Have a safe one, and I'll see you all next week.